Lanka IOC's strong corporate governance and ethics has made it a force functioning with transparency, integrity and accountability. With Sri Lanka propelling itself on the road to development and prosperity, Lanka IOC has a major role as an integrated energy company playing a national role in oil security. Our resilience and foresight will help improve the Sri Lankan lives and foster change in the transport industry of today and tomorrow. Lanka IOC, bringing energy to life.
If you take a superficial glance at the sea, it all looks the same. On the open sea, you can lose your way. This is why you need to know it well, drop by drop. But when the sea is your genuine passion, you can identify a great route. A route showing you the way. A route taken by our people for years. Every day. A route that spans the oceans, roads and railways of the world. A route that starts from our offices, goes through your offices and arrives to the hands of consumers. Connecting people and continents. MSC, moving the world together.
I'm a member of the ICS.
I'm a member of the ICS.
I am a member of ICS.
I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers.
Hello, my name is Angelika and I work at CAC. I started doing ICS a couple of years back. The knowledge that I've gained from ICS and has helped my career grow so far. And I also had the privilege of winning the World Prize for Line of Trade subject. So I also urge you to do ICS. It is the qualification that you need to have.
Hi, I'm Aruni from Hales Energy Services. I'm a student of ICS Sri Lanka branch. Anyone who is willing to step into this industry or anyone who is already in the shipping and logistics industry, I strongly recommend to study with ICS Sri Lanka branch.
Lanka IOC's strong corporate governance and ethics has made it a force functioning with transparency, integrity and accountability. With Sri Lanka propelling itself on the road to development and prosperity, Lanka IOC has a major role as an integrated energy company playing a national role in oil security. Our resilience and foresight will help improve the Sri Lankan lives and foster change in the transport industry of today and tomorrow. Lanka IOC, bringing energy to life.
If you take a superficial glance at the sea, it all looks the same. On the open sea, you can lose your way. This is why you need to know it well, drop by drop. But when the sea is your genuine passion, you can identify a great route. A route showing you the way. A route taken by our people for years. Every day. A route that spans the oceans, roads, and railways of the world. A route that starts from our offices, goes through your offices, and arrives to the hands of consumers. Connecting people and continents. MSC, moving the world together.
I'm a member of the ICS.
I'm a member of the ICS.
I am a member of ICS.
I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers.
Hello, my name is Angelica and I work at GAC. I started doing ICS a couple of years back. The knowledge that I've gained from ICS and has helped my career grow so far. And I also had the privilege of winning the World Prize for Line of Trade subject. So I also urge you to do ICS. It is the qualification that you need to have.
Hi, I'm Aruni from Helis Energy Services. I'm a student of ICS Sri Lanka branch. Anyone who is willing to step into this industry or anyone who is already in the shipping and logistics industry, I strongly recommend to study with ICS Sri Lanka branch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to our annual award ceremony right here at the ICS Sri Lanka branch. As you can see, we are now warmly welcoming our special dignitaries as they join us inside the hall, including our chief guest, Honorable Rohita Abegunawardena, Minister of Ports and Shipping, our guest of honor, Deshabandhu Karujayasuriya, the former Speaker of the Sri Lankan Parliament. We also have with us guest of honor, General Daya Ratnayaka, Chairman, Sri Lanka Ports Authority, and our keynote speaker, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we commence our awards ceremony, we would like to now begin with the lighting of the oil lamp. And to now do the honors of the traditional lighting, may I invite the following dignitaries to please help us with this traditional ritual. We'd like to invite our chief guest, Honorable Rohita Abegunawardena, Minister of Ports and Shipping, followed by our guest of honor, Deshabandhu Karujayasuriya, former Speaker of the Sri Lankan Parliament, our guest of honor, General Daya Ratnayaka, Chairman, Sri Lanka Ports Authority, Dr. Prasanta Jayamana, Vice Chairman, Sri Lanka Ports Authority, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, Director, Postgraduate Institute of Management, Mr. Ramesh David, CEO, South Asia Gateway Terminals, which is our corporate partner. And from ICS Sri Lanka branch, we would like to invite Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama, the Chairman, Mr. Manjula Agalavatta, immediate past Chairman, Mr. Karlinga Senaviratna, Vice Chairman, Mr. Charandra Grero, Treasurer, Mr. Shimron Samson, Secretary, and Ms. Shamali Premasiri, Education Officer at ICS Sri Lanka. May I now invite our dignitaries to take their seats at the head table as I invite all of our audience members to please remain rising. We'd like to be joined at the head table by our chief guest, Honorable Rohita Abegunawardena, our guests of honor, Deshabandhu Karujayasuriya and General Daya Ratnayaka. We'd also like to invite our keynote speaker, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri. And on behalf of ICS Sri Lanka, we'd like to invite Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama, our chairman, our secretary, Mr. Shimron Samson, and our education officer, Mrs. Shamali Premasiri. And as our dignitaries are right there at the head table, ladies and gentlemen, let's now please stand in attention for the national anthem of Sri Lanka.
Namo
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may please take your seats now. And on that note, once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to each of you to the 27th Annual Awards Ceremony of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers UK Sri Lanka branch. My name is Trishma Pinto. It's my pleasure to be your host here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are all very well aware, the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers UK is a professional society for all members of the commercial shipping industry worldwide. After being founded in 1911 in London, ICS UK was granted a royal charter in 1920, proudly marking a key milestone of 100 years of this royal charter just last year in 2020. And as we honor this significant milestone, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the ICS Sri Lanka branch celebrates its annual award ceremony, which undoubtedly, as you know, is a very prestigious and much anticipated yearly event amongst the local shipping community. This evening, we will be awarding diplomas, advanced diplomas, membership certificates, as well as medals to successful candidates who have qualified at the annual international examination conducted by ICS UK. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, tonight at our event, we will also be recognizing and rewarding some of the best shipping lines and logistic providers in Sri Lanka for their efforts, their success, and their contribution to both the industry and the economy of our nation. So we have a lot to look forward to tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure that you'll thoroughly enjoy it, from the prestigious awards that are being presented to also our valuable speakers who will be offering us their thought-provoking insights this evening. But before we get started with all of that, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, as we commence this special evening together, we'd like to extend a very warm welcome to each of you in the audience who have given us the gift of your presence here tonight. And in a very special way, we also have audience joining us online from Facebook and YouTube Live, so a warm welcome to all of them as well. With that, ladies and gentlemen, to now officially deliver the welcome address on behalf of ICS Sri Lanka branch, please join me now in inviting to the lectern the chairman of ICS Sri Lanka. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Kingsley Abevikrama.
Thank you, Trishma. Ayubowan, and very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I solemnly welcome you to this ICS Awards, let me quickly take you back to the most exciting era in the history of shipping. It was 1937 back in US. There was this 24-year-old young truck driver waiting in his truck, in a long queue of trucks, waiting to enter into the port of New Jersey to unload his cotton bales and go back. But whenever they come to the port, they had to wait at least 1 day, and that's the norm at that time. So all these frustrated truck drivers had two options. One, to name, shame, and blame from morning to night, or to cheat the system, bribe someone, jump the queue, get the thing done, and go back. But this particular young truck driver didn't go for any of these two options. He was a different one. He wanted a third option, which is to find what is the delay in the port and how to solve this, so that every trucker can come quickly, go back fast, and the port workers also can be happy. So he went and proposed an idea. He went to the ship and told, why the ship with its cranes, why not you take the whole truck on board, go to the next port, which was Houston at that time, and unload it there, so another driver will come and take it off. You can save a lot of time. So the idea came from a poor truck driver. No one noticed him, and rather they laughed at him. But he was not giving up kind. For the next 19 years, he tried harder, worked harder, and every single year, he improved his idea. And after 19 years, in 1956, he went back to the ship operator, not only with the idea, but also with his own newly designed truck, where you can separate the cargo body of the truck so that the ship's crane can take only the cargo body of the truck, so the engine and the trailer can leave the port. So at the discharging port, they will unload to a similar truck in Houston, so this can save a lot of time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the birth of maritime container. And the inventor or the truck driver is none other than Malcolm McLean, the unsung hero in today's modern shipping. And Malcolm McLean did not stop at US. He wanted to share this idea everywhere. He wanted to share this good idea to make life better for port workers and truckers all over the world. He visited Europe, and in 1958, he was in the port of Felixstowe in UK, promoting this idea. Just 90 miles away from Felixstowe, there was another set of people who were trying to make shipping better, who were trying to educate people in the shipping industry, who was trying to bring professionalism into the shipping. And that setup, which was in London, is none other than Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, we commonly known as ICS. ICS, which was founded in 1911, by that time they were celebrating their 35th year, and ICS was closely watching what was happening in Felixstowe and in other places with these new developments. So ICS kept on developing its syllabus, adding new subjects to enhance the knowledge of the shipping professionals. And in the meantime, containerization came to Sri Lanka. In 1982, Sri Lanka Ports Authority opened its first gantry in 1982, and that's where Sri Lanka embraced containerization. And about 5 years later, in 1987, ICS also expanded and opened its first branch here in Sri Lanka, called ICS Sri Lanka, in 1987. And for the first time, ICS Sri Lanka held a student awards in 1994 under the leadership of Mr. Maxwell de Silva. And from that year onwards, every single year, ICS Sri Lanka held student awards. And in 1998, under the leadership of Dr. Parakrama Dissanayake, ICS Sri Lanka also added customer service awards to the award ceremony. Then this good work was continued by later leaders such as Mr. Bandula Dissanayake, and later by Mr. Lalit Vitanarachi, and under the leadership of Mrs. Anoma Ranasinghe, we also added another sector, that is container depot service, and also started discussions with Slana for NVOCCs. And then Mr. Manjula Galavatta continued the good work. And today, the new EXCO has also added few other new features, such as conducting exams in using online platforms and sharing customer survey reports, not only with the winners, but also with the losers, so that they will know where they fail and they can improve. And we also added this time customer service awards for NVOCC agents. So with that, we are holding 27th annual awards this year. And now that we traveled through the history and come back to the present day, I think this is the best time for me to now invite you, since you know the history. So our chief guest tonight, Minister Ports and Shipping, Honorable Rohit Abegunawardena. Thank you very much, sir, despite your conditions, making it to this. And Mr. Deshabandhu Karu Jayasurya, former speaker, one of our most senior members. Thank you for gracing this event. General Daya Ratnayaka, Chairman, Sri Lanka Ports Authority. Thank you very much, sir, making it for the second consecutive time. And Director PIM, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, for being our keynote speaker. I also would like to welcome our corporate partner, South Asia Gateway Terminals, who have been holding hands with us for so many years. Let me also welcome warmly all the distinguished guests who are here in person today, and also who are joining online through ICS YouTube channels and FB pages. Let me also congratulate and welcome students, the recipients of Foundation Diploma Awards, Advanced Diploma Awards, memberships, fellowships, and special awards. My story about McLean was mainly for you. I would humbly request you to use this qualification not to throw your waiter out, not for you to shine, but to solve a problem in the trade. To solve customers, to solve importers, exporters' problems, to solve their pain points, not for us to shine. Qualification, we know ICS is the best in the world, that you have already got now. So now let's leave that title aside. Now let's start practicing the motto of the institute, which is our word, our bond. Meaning to create a trusted culture, to create a trusted working environment in your offices. How to create trust? By teaching your juniors, by sharing your knowledge, by helping your seniors to go up, by helping your juniors to come up, to create transparency, knowledge, professionalism. That's how we create trust in an organization without living in silos. So our word, our bond means that. So now that you have the qualification, let's practice the motto. That's my humble request. I also welcome all the participating container shipping lines, container depots, and NVOCC operators for the first time. Participants and also the winners. Why we have customer service awards? Why don't we have volume awards or revenue awards? We have a serious reason for that. Because if we do not take care of customers' pain points, customers' problems, this industry will not survive. If we just compete only for the price, only for the market share, this trade will not survive. Someone from somewhere will bring in a startup and they'll take away your industry. So please pay attention to the customer's pain points. You don't have to invent a container again. Do some simple things. Try and issue that release order a little faster. Try and get that DG approval. Now it takes average 5 days. Try and get that approval in 4 days. Try and release that container little faster. Try and issue the container in the right condition for the right cargo. Try and solve that claim little faster. This is all what customers are requesting. They don't want you to invent the next in container. So let's do these little things. Otherwise, someone else will come and just throw a platform and get this done. So let us not be too late. So let us be companies who are solving problems, not just pushing products to customers. Let us solve problems. So with that, those humble requests, let me close with some universal quotes. If you want to get more, give more. If you want to go up the ladder, help others to come up the ladder. If you are weak, compete. If you are strong, collaborate. I thank you.
And those were some very inspiring opening words right there by our chairman, Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama. We thank him for that wonderful message. And as Mr. Kingsley had already mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, the members and the fellows of ICS take extraordinary pride in living up to the Institute's motto, which is our word, our bond. Indeed, a hallmark of professionalism in this global industry. So let this evening of celebration inspire us all to keep raising the bar and maintaining high standards in the shipping industry. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are truly deeply honored today to be joined by our chief guest, who is our Minister of Ports and Shipping, Honorable Rohita Abe Gunawardena. It's now our pleasure to listen to our chief guest address the gathering as he shares his message with us tonight. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming Honorable Rohita Abe Gunawardena.
Aibuan, good evening. Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama, Chairman of ICS Sri Lanka branch. Former Speaker Desabandhu Karu Jayasuriya, General Dayaratnayaka, Chairman Sri Lanka Port Authority, board members of ICS, and ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a privilege to attend as the chief guest at the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers Sri Lanka branch 27th annual award ceremony. ICS is widely accepted as a top professional body that sets the head's standard of professional service to the shipping industry. The world over, and their presence in Sri Lanka, no doubt, energizes the local industry in multiple ways. It plays an active role in enhancing professionalism while recognizing best practice and standards that shape the future of the vibrant industry. I take this opportunity to appreciate all award winners for their hard work, commitment, and perseverance. I also request them to maintain the same standard in the future and take them shipping industry, a driving force of our economy, to new heights. Sri Lanka's vision is to develop the entire country as the maritime center for South Asia. Toward this end, our government has continuously developed port facilities by not only developing a brand new major international port in very close proximity to the major east-west shipping route in Hambantota in a greenfield site, but also converted the Port Colombo into a major hub by creating South Harbour during 2005 to 2013. opening Sri Lanka for the largest container ships being used the sea transportation. Currently, Port of Colombo provides a capacity of 7.5 million TEUs, where 3 major terminal operators provide competitive services. We have now commenced on ambitious further development plan to double the capacity by simultaneously develop East Container Terminal and West Container Terminal, which will add 8 million TEUs. I have also standard numbers of new major logistic facility projects for the public-private partnership ventures in order to attract value-added activities. We are creating maritime hub. Under my leadership, Sri Lanka Port Authority is moving ahead with the introduction of port community system, automation and digitalization of terminals and automated gates towards achieving paperless environment as well as most effective operational mechanism to facilitate this trade. I invite all the investors and you from ICS to use the golden opportunity by actively participation in our maritime opportunities in Sri Lanka, the world of wonder of Asia, the pearl of the Indian Ocean. Thank you very much.
A big thank you to our chief guest, Honorable Rohita Vegunavardhana, for his very special message as well as his best wishes on our occasion. And as our minister mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka's vision is to be the maritime center for South Asia. And we are assured that under our minister's leadership, the local shipping industry is certainly taking steps ahead towards making this vision a reality. Now, while we are appreciative of our minister for his participation here, we understand our minister has to leave. So he will be excusing himself from our gathering right now. Thank you once again, sir, for gracing our occasion with your presence. And we're very grateful to you for having spent your precious time with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the occasion of our 27th annual awards ceremony, a distinguished invitee who has enriched our gathering here tonight is our guest of honor, Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya. As we all know, Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya is the former Speaker of the Parliament of Sri Lanka, and we're also extremely proud to count him amongst one of our senior members here at the ICS Sri Lanka branch. We now have the privilege of listening to Sir's esteemed thoughts on this occasion. So ladies and gentlemen, let's now warmly welcome Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman ICS, Mr. Kingsley Abevikrama, Honorable Minister just left, the guest of honor, Chairman Sri Lanka Ports Authority, General Dayawath Nayaka, today Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, then Secretary, Ms. Shamrock Sampson, the other distinguished members of the head table, the giants of the shipping industry, recipients of awards, and ladies and gentlemen. For me, it's a very special occasion. I'm coming here after a long absence. But also I always get invited for this function as the most senior chartered shipbroker. I remember I qualified in 1960s, but Chairman now tells me that it was 62. With me there was another gentleman, but he was not a Sri Lankan, he was Indian. So I must also say that whenever I come here, I took great pride because I realized the value of shipping, and that was the reason why I took to shipping. Well, it took long time for the ICS to establish itself, but Mr. Chairman, in your speech, you mentioned about those people who contributed to make this a success. I remember and recollect the great growth that you had, and that was due to the efforts, commitment, dedication of the past office bearers. Some of the names were mentioned by you, and I'd like to once again remember them and respect them for that commitment. It's a very exceptional show of solidarity that showed. And Colombo branch is also, as you know, have been rated as one of the best in the world. And this is something you can be proud of. And I still keep in touch with some of the senior members of the ICS London, and they also talk very highly of the achievements and the services rendered by your institute to the shipping industry. While being seated here, I was sending my memory back to my career in the shipping. Although I selected shipping as a subject, I had a very, very, very short period in shipping. Fortunately, unfortunately, but I thought it's fortunately because of joining a Danish company. Now I remember for me to, at that time, to get apprenticeship, we had to work in a shipping company. I worked with Barber Fern, no longer in existence, Scandinavian Joint Service, no longer in existence. But after that, on qualification, when I got my charter, I was offered the post of the shipping manager. Very short period. Within after few months, my boss was a Dane. He called me to his room and said, "You work for a trading company and not a shipping company." And he said, "The traders are born, but managers you can make. So therefore I think, and my advice is you move to the trading department." So I took his advice, and that's the right advice. Although it was very painful for me to leave the shipping, because they go down a young Dane to run the shipping department. But I moved over to the trading department, and that took me to great heights, where eventually I headed that company. One thing is I lost company with charter shipbrokers, but of course the company happened to be the Sri Lanka's largest single exporter, responsible over 5% of the total exports. So therefore I was still able to contribute to the shipping industry by giving cargo in big numbers, because that was a time where Sri Lanka traded a lot with, not only with the West, but also with the East European bloc. So there are of course no chartering, but still I remember very large volume of goods moved out from Sri Lanka. So therefore my connection to the shipping industry was short-lived. And also I left the private sector in 1992 to take up the diplomatic appointment, which I did only for half my term on understanding. On my return, I had to go into politics to become the mayor. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, there's very little advice that I can give you today from here about the shipping industry. But however, talking about the shipping industry, let me say that Sri Lanka historically is a maritime nation. King Parakrambau had over hundreds of ships which he used to export rice to Far East. And also, during the time of the ancient kings, Sri Lanka was a trading hub, and that was how a lot of foreign traders came here, Arabs and others followed by Portuguese, Dutch, English, and Napoleon had a very unsuccessful attempt. So the situation is no different today. You know that all superpowers are looking at us. Colombo is a very important destination. And also I also note from the media that Colombo port has achieved 90% capacity. That's quite a lot of very exceptional achievement. As a Sri Lankan, I'm very happy about it. Let me also take this opportunity to thank all of them for making the shipping industry to this level today. A lot of contribution. But looking at the future, that's all I can say. I'm not an expert. We have a professor here who can talk about it. But looking at the future, ladies and gentlemen, I see Sri Lanka has tremendous potential to become a logistic hub. We have a fantastic location. It is said that when the God created the world, He placed Sri Lanka in the most ideal location geographically. And that is the reason why we still get a lot of attention. And also we sit at the foot of the second most popular market in the world in terms of consumer as well as producer. And we should not just focus on transshipment, but become a cargo hub where we provide the full gamut of cargo services, including loose cargo, air cargo, LCL consolidation, warehousing, supply chain management, value addition, redistribution, and related services. To achieve such a status, we must have stability, discipline, and international recognition. I use the word international recognition, which is also very important. Our shipping industry is very fortunate that we have world-class management and a team of young executives. These young men and women are being trained eventually to become top managers. I also recall the time at the initial stages that ICS Colombo decided to start classes, which became a model for many of the branches in the world. And that is how Sri Lanka got this rating as the best managed branch. And I still believe you still hold that recognition. I must also congratulate the young people who are qualified. And I see two young ladies have achieved 2 world-class awards. I think all of us must congratulate the two of them for that achievement. And I must say that we are very, very proud of them. So I think looking to the future, Sri Lanka has produced enormous amount of top management where they can take to high positions in the shipping world. I know a lot of them have taken such position all over the world. I have met some of them. So therefore, I must congratulate the management of the ICS for their hard work, commitment, and service to the shipping industry. So these are the very few comments that I can make, because for 29 years, I was out of the shipping world and the business. Then finally, the chairman mentioned about our motto, our word, our bond. There's various classifications. In my view, ladies and gentlemen, this fits into 2 categories of people in the world. The first category is you, the chartered shipbrokers, because you honor your bond, you honor your word. The second category is the parliamentarians all over the world, because they make all promises before the elections, but some of them are not fulfilled. So when I left the private sector, when I left politics, as a chartered shipbroker, I get the mental satisfaction that I satisfied both. I honored my obligation, or I honored the motto of the chartered shipbrokers, both in terms of shipping and both in terms of politics. Thank you very much for the courtesy of your attention.
Thank you very much, Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya, for your warm message to our audience. And as Sir mentioned himself, he qualified as a member of ICS in 1962, and today, nearly 6 decades later, Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya is still by our side here at ICS Sri Lanka, contributing to our gathering with his varied insights. And we're very appreciative, sir, of your support towards the Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are also privileged to be joined by our guest of honor, General Daya Ratnayaka, who is the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, and it's now our pleasure to invite our guest of honor to address the gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, with your applause, let's now invite General Daya Ratnayaka.
Hi, Bowen. Good evening. Honorable Speaker, former Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Karu Jayasuriya, our Chairman, Kingsley Abevikrama, Chairman of ICS, and our keynote address keynote speaker, Professor Ajantha Dharamsiri, my good friend, and giants in the field, and ladies and gentlemen. Since the Minister explained about the development of the port and related activities, and also the future, and also Mr. Karu Jayasuriya mentioned all other things, I just concentrate on few points and give enough time for our friend Ajantha to give the keynote address. So basically I will just mention a few words about the development in the fields of training and development. Here, there's a requirement. We have a lot of opportunities coming up. As Minister mentioned, there will be 2 major terminals coming up in the next 2-3 years. And 2025, we will definitely double the capacity of the port. And since we are handling right now 7.5 TEUs per year, this will be double and reach up to about, our expectation is to bring it up to about 15 million container handling capacity developed in the port of Colombo. And also not only that, there are so many other opportunities coming up. Then there will be 2 major logistic centers will be open and developed within the next 2-3 years. There will be a passenger terminal coming up. And also, there will be other development. We have already started improving the capacity, increasing the capacity of storage facilities here in the UCT terminal, which is almost abandoned now. So we have started about 100,000 square feet building to increase the capacity of storage. And on the other side, we have the port city coming up. With all that, we have so many areas that the training and development will have to concentrate on. We need to have people, all around above all these things, digitalization, port community system, all that is going to come within the next 5 years. And by 2030, we will increase the capacity of Colombo Port up to about 35,000 TEU handling capacity. So within the next 10 years, we will have more and more opportunities coming up. For that, we need to have people with confidence. We will have to have people with top-class skills, and we will have to educate some of our people. So are we ready? So it is, when you look at, I see there are a number of training institutions here in Sri Lanka, about 7 to 8 maritime institutions where they concentrate on maritime-related training and education. So when I looked at it, I realized people are working on their own compartments rather than getting together and thinking the country and the best interest of the country and developing a system to support this industry. So they are doing a human service like this institution that they have already done and they're still doing. And what I propose to people like Mr. Kinsley Abhivikrama, who are being in the field, and also now turn to an academic and running this kind of institutions. We need people like you to get together and really strategize the whole training system, looking at the opportunities available. If you can do that, we will have top-class workforce to fill these vacuums that would be created within the next 10 years. So that should be, so we are there to implement those things. If you can get together and strategize this and conceptualize this and strategize, we can implement it. That's it. So for that, if you can develop that concept, we will be able to, as I told you, bridge this gap. So we will have confident workforce to this industry's competitiveness. I don't have to explain it to you. But still, however much we talk, we have achieved so much, but the potential is enormous. There are more and more to be achieved. In order to do that, from this, transform from this, as a soldier, when I look at all these things, I see a lot of volatility, uncertainty, complexity in these little ad hoc things. If you can transform from this ad hoc to proper strategy, we can do much more. That is what we need from academics and professionals, get together and work a nice concept. Then we can do much better. That is how I see. If you do that, we will be definitely be able to transform always we talk about the opportunities and the advantages that we have. If we develop nicely these plans and implement it nicely, we will be able to transform from transform the advantage that we have, the comparative advantage that we have, into a competitive advantage. If you do that, we will be able to do much better, because we have all the opportunities. We have not only Colombo Port, we have Gold Port, we have Trincomalee, Hambantota coming up. All these things together, we can be really a maritime hub as a country. So in order to do that, Kinsley and your team, since you have been doing exceptionally well in the field, and some of the newcomers are going to get all these awards here, and while congratulating, I request all of you to think and develop a super plan and get together. We all together with the giants available, sitting in front here, together if we can implement and put this into practice, really we can do much better than what we are doing today. With that, I congratulate once again to the winners of all these awards today, and thank you very much once again for inviting me here, Kinsley, giving me this opportunity, and thank you very much, all of you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, General Dayaratnayaka, for sharing with us your message, talking to us about all the latest developments and opportunities for the local shipping industry. And judging by General Dayaratnayaka's speech, I'm sure we agree that there are exciting times up ahead. And I do hope that we are ready to ensure that we have all the skills and resources as we gear up to meet these increasing capacities. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to our next segment, which is our keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are fortunate that we have with us a keynote speaker who has made a mark for himself as a distinguished management consultant and a sought-after leadership expert. We're happy to have him share with us tonight inspiration and insights from the depth and breadth of his experience and expertise. Therefore, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's now welcome our keynote speaker, the director at the Postgraduate Institute of Management. Let's put our hands together for Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri.
Thank you, Trishma. Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Distinguished dignitaries at the head table, including the former speaker, someone whom I admire as a politician with principles. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And my friend Kinsley, who is the dynamic leader of your institute, and my other good friend, Major Daya Ratnayaka, who had a turbulent time in the harbor. I hope he's now settling it to some extent. And my friends, and I see some of y'all were my learning partners at PIM, the premier postgraduate entity in Sri Lanka. So I was wondering what to tell in front of this eminent gathering, and y'all have gone through the challenges in business field in achieving results under difficult circumstances. And what can I say as an outsider to the shipping industry? So I was watching BBC News this morning, and I saw a vessel getting stuck in the middle of Suez Canal with 400 meters width and carrying 200,000 tons of containers. It's part of Evergreen, and they say Evergiven, and that's a subsidiary. I hope it will not give up the effort and which is going on, and they're still calculating the cost, the opportunity cost, where 200 odd other vessels are still waiting to get through the canal. So I was thinking about a ship and my pet area, or something close to my heart, which is leadership. So there's nice connection, ship and leadership. So I would say the only ship that survives a storm is leadership. So let me share my humble thoughts on leadership. So it reminds me what Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, a French writer and a World War II pilot, said a long time ago about a ship. If you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to go to the forest to gather wood and plank them and make the ship. Instead, teach them the desire for the sea. And if you carefully look at this statement, it has two parts. Part one, I would say it's all about telling people to do things. Do this, do that, then do that, and they will do that and only that, nothing but that. In the second approach, you don't tell, you inspire, you create a desirable picture for the sea, and then they would say, wow, let's go to the sea. And they would go extra mile in find a channel to go to the sea. And obviously, the first part is more to do with managing the day-to-day affairs, administering the things, whereas the second approach is what I call leadership. It's all about triple I's, inspiring others, influencing others, and initiating. You inspire from your words, you influence from your deeds, and you initiate from the seeds that you sow. That is what we need badly, sometimes terribly badly, in this topsy-turvy world. So in that sense, let me congratulate the newly graduating award winners who will become chartered shipbrokers tonight, and they need to become leaders in time to come. So it's such a fascinating concept. Leadership has been there with us from time immemorial. Even when we were in the hunting era, when we were chasing animals, we have come a long way. Instead of killing animals, to go to Keels and Cargills to buy killed animals. In that long journey, leadership had always been with us. If you look at the East, if you look at the 550 Jataka stories, technically there's only 547. Bodhisattva is portrayed as a leader in more than 30% of the Jataka stories. Say, for example, if you look at Vannu Patha Jataka, there were hundreds of bullock carts crossing a desert, and they ran out of water, and people start complaining out of thirsty. And the leader summoned the top team and invited them to go in search of water. And the majority of them came back without any success, except for one team who saw a tiny plant coming from the soil, and they realized that for this plant to come out, there must be water around. And they intensified their search, and they found a water spring, and they could quench their thirst and resume the journey. See the power of leadership in action. From East to the Middle East, perhaps one of my favorite ways of describing a leader. Leader as a shepherd. And if you look at the Holy Bible, it says, I am the good shepherd. Shepherd and the flock. Shepherd knows where the flock to be taken. The shepherd takes the flock to greener pastures. And the flock know the voice of the shepherd. Shepherd carries a stick to give protection to the flock of sheep. So that is different to the herdsman we see in the dry zone, Jakmak, going behind the cattle, whereas the shepherd goes right in front, giving the right direction. That's what leadership is all about. And we see great leaders around the world in multiple spheres. And even in the head table, we see a political leader, a military leader turned a civil leader, and a business leader, or rather a couple of business leaders. So it is cutting across different disciplines. So you might wonder why I say such fundamental things. We are here to discuss serious stuff. I didn't talk about numbers. I didn't talk about complicated economics, because I believe in being brilliant on basics. Sometimes we forget the fundamentals and get into fragmentation, get into unnecessary fanatical things. So we need to focus on what are the fundamental things we need to develop as leaders. There's a big myth in the world about leadership. We think leadership is all about corporate leadership. Leaders are at the top and we are at the top. I disagree, because leadership starts with the mindset. So let me prove that by a simple story. This happened in a place in a rural area. There was a road full of potholes and garrets. And when the dusk was setting in, there was a person walking along the road. And he didn't see a cavity in the middle of the road. And he fell into the cavity. And he got out with difficulty, and he was bleeding, and he was crawling, and he was cursing everyone. He started giving birth certificates to the Road Development Authority officials and went away. That is person number 1. Then came a lady who also didn't see the cavity in the middle of the road and also fell into the cavity. And she started crying for help, and others came and took her out. She was also crying, weeping, cursing everyone, and went away. That's person number 2. Then came a youngster who saw the cavity well ahead of time, and instead of avoiding and going around it and moving away, he went to a nearby tree and plucked a branch of a tree and brought it and kept it just inside the cavity to show others, hey, there's a danger, better avoid it and go away. And he went away. That's person number 3. The simple question, who is the real leader? 1, 2, or 3? Obviously, no brainer. It's all about person number 3. This brings out the good news, ladies and gentlemen, about the fundamentals of leadership. Leadership is nothing to do with decisions and it has nothing to do with positions and titles. It has something to do with decisions and actions. It's not to do with positions and titles, but something to do with decisions and actions. It is all about the mindset, then of course the skill set and the necessary tool set. So this is something that we have forgotten. So my dear youngsters who are getting into the field of shipping, you need to think about taking the right decision at the right time with the given right resources in producing the right results. I'm sure the stalwarts like Honorable Karu Jayasuriya and the other giants here who have done that in the past, and I'm sure they're doing that in the present, ensuring that you have the right results with the right resources in the right time. It needs triple aspects. I would call them vision, passion, and action. You start with being visionary. Sad to say, we see a lot of visionary, but not visionary leaders. So it's all about having a vision, having a desired dream for the future. And you might ask, is dreaming good or bad? I would say it depends on the type of the dream. Sometimes I go to offices after lunch and I see people dreaming. And when they see me coming, they say, hey, so-and-so is coming, wake up, wake up. And some even still keep on dreaming, even singing a song, Mage sihinaya mata dakinna idari. So I'm not referring to those dreams, they are the daydreams. I'm referring to dreams for the future. And I'm sure Honorable former Speaker might recall, we had Dr. Abdul Kalam, former President of India, came to Sri Lanka 2 or 3 times. And he came to PIM once. It was a joint lecture organized by PIM and CIMA. And he made this wonderful statement, I still recall with pride. He said, dreams are not what you see when you are asleep. Dreams are what makes you to stay awake and to work. Isn't that so amazing? Dreams are not what you see when you are asleep. Dreams are what makes you to stay awake and to work. And we need such dreams as a nation. We need such dreams as institutions. I wish if the Honorable Minister also were here when I say this. I went through the vistas of prosperity and splendor, Saubhagya Dakma. It talks about prosperous nation, productive citizenry, contented families, and disciplined and just society. Fantastic if you look at the document. But what about the implementation? That's where we fail. We had enriched country, Your Honor. Earlier we had enriched country as a vision for the country. I was lamenting as a nation we did not have a vision for a long time, but at least there's some consolation now. But what is the real challenge? The country has become a consumable commodity. Kanda hitana ratak. That's a fundamental problem that we have. So when we had the COVID-19 challenge, when the planetary pandemic hit us, we started talking about people first, economy next. But what really happened? Politicians became first and people became second. So we need to identify the reality, we need to understand the reality, and we need to act with sense. I think we need to get together in order to develop our country, and shipbrokers can play a key role as leaders who contribute to the nation building. So that's about the vision and dreaming for the future. And in fact, I had been telling this story in many a fora where there was this Alice. Alice was a beautiful girl, and the story is from Alice in Wonderland. Alice was having a dream, and in that dream she was playing with so many creatures, so many funny creatures. And one such creature was Cheshire Cat. And the cat came from a branch of a tree and approached Alice. And asked from Alice, Alice, where do you want to go? Alice says, I don't know. And the cat says, go in any road. Any road will lead you to the place called I don't know. Is that happening in our lives? If we don't know where we are heading, we will end up nowhere. That's why Stephen Covey of 7 Habits fame says, begin with the end in mind. In Sinhala we say this vividly, Danagana giyot, Kataragama, Nodana giyot, Ataramaga. In a seminar some time ago, in front of a vast gathering, I shared this story. And I asked them, are you Kataragama people or are you Ataramaga people? They said, we are Kataramaga people. Neither here nor there. And after the seminar, one person approached me and told me, Ayosaroga Parana Katavak ne. Then Tino Alut Katavak. I asked, what? Danagana giyot Vattala, Nodana giyot Mattala. That's a newer interpretation of the whole thing. So I will not ask the esteemed shipbrokers who are here whether you are Vattala people or Mattala people, but at least know where you are heading. Begin with the end in mind. That is the vision aspect of the whole thing. Second one is the passion. You got to be passionate. Your heart should be in action. As Winston Churchill said, never, never, never give up. That is the mindset you need to have. And that's why they say tough times never last, but tough people do. That's the toughness that we need to have the right resilience, to have the recovery of our economy in battling a planetary pandemic, in combating COVID-19. We need to have that resilience in us. And I was telling this in many sessions where we were talking about VUCA. Now it has become a hacked word. Volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world. And for me, the most important one is the response we need to have to VUCA 1.0. That should be VUCA 2.0. Vision, understanding, confidence and agility. Right vision, right understanding of the situation around you and having the right confidence. The confidence is the key factor. Psychologists say the biggest fear that we have around the world is FOF, fear of failure. We fear that we will fail. We averse risk-taking. So we need to become calculated risk-takers. And then we need to ensure that we have right agility, being dynamic, being enthusiastic, having the right energy, focus, blend with purposefulness. And the third, of course, is action. There's no point having great grand strategies confined to a multicolored, spiral-bound volumes and volumes. The key aspect is execution. Execution brings excellent results. I can give you many, many examples. I was part of a World Bank-sponsored project in developing a strategic plan to a leading sector in the government, in the public sector. I would not mention what the sector is. So then we went and met the director of strategic planning. She was a very nice lady. She welcomed us, greeted us. And in her cupboard, we saw thick volumes and volumes of strategic plans. And one was the UNESCO funded, one was the ADB funded, one was this funded, that funded. And I asked how much of them had been implemented. She gave a percentage figure. Guess what? 0. Absolutely 0. So where is the execution? I would challenge all of you, if you want to have excellence, execution is the key. No execution, no excellence. Excellence is all about exceeding expectations. Have the right dream and dedicate to deliver the dream. As Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Everything begins with the right dream. And we were talking about future. We got to be future-proof. Leaders should be future-proof. And I read in Forbes magazine recently, the response of leadership for COVID-19 should be 3 H's. Leaders should be holistic, humane, and humble. You should know the big picture. Some of the political tussles we see, some of the social media battles that we see, we look at only one-sided cylindrical view. We need to have conical view, open view to see the holistic reality. And we should be humane, we should be humble, down to earth. You should not go on others' shoulders, but carry others on your shoulders. That's where they say great leaders are servant leaders. Those who serve deserve leadership. So I can go on and on and on talking about leadership. There are many more things we can say, but the most important thing is the results through right action. As Aldous Huxley said, I don't know whether he has anything to do with Huxley's vintage, you know. He's a British philosopher. He says, at the end of the day, what matters is, I'm referring to the youngsters here, what matters to not how much you know, but how much you have done. Knowing should lead to doing in delivering the right results. So let me thank ICS for facilitating such world-class programs and bringing those expertise to Sri Lanka in capacity building of our youth, and they will be the future leaders. So knowing should result in doing, and doing should result in delivering excellence. Excellence is the key. So let me wish all of you good luck, all the very best for all your future endeavors. And once again, let me thank ICS for inviting me, and the journey which is going on, may that journey be an enriching, energizing, excelling journey. For that journey, may I wish you good luck, all the very best, bon voyage, happy journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Professor Janta Dharmasuri for those very inspiring words, profound food for thought that he provided us as our keynote speaker. And as Professor mentioned himself, ladies and gentlemen, the only ship that can survive a storm is leadership. So therefore, I hope Professor's words encourages us all to inspire others through our words, influence through deeds, and initiate through the seeds we sow as we move on to pursue excellence as members of the local shipping industry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on with the rest of our segment, at this point, we would like to say a big thank you to our corporate partner, South Asia Gateway Terminals, as we appreciate them for their generous support towards our institute's activities. So with that, thank you to them. We would now like to request all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to turn your attention to the screen as we now view a video clip by South Asia Gateway Terminals. And that was our corporate partner, South Asia Gateway Terminals. Yes, we can put our hands together as we thank them for their generous support towards ICS Sri Lanka branch. Friends, on that note, we are now all set to commence the presentation of certificates and special awards here this evening. I'm sure you all agree that in this very hall, we have with us some outstanding individuals, students, as well as companies whose drive and passion for this industry has led them to create a very unique niche for themselves. Each of them are inspiring achievers, and their accolades have to be celebrated, applauded, and recognized. And what better audience than this August gathering right here of the elite of the maritime community to pay tribute to the extraordinary accolades of these individuals as well as corporates. So with that being said, let's now get started with the presentation of awards. Before I announce the names of each of the recipients, I would like to remind all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that we'd like to follow health guidelines even during the presentation of awards. We will not be shaking hands, but of course our award recipients are welcome to offer a very graceful Ayubowan instead. But of course you may feel free to remove your face mask for the purpose of a very quick photograph. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to get started with certificates for students who have completed Foundation Diploma in 2019 and 2020. May I first and foremost invite our guest of honor, Deshabandhu Karujayasuri, to please join us here, accompanied by our chairman of ICS Sri Lanka, Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama, as we now commence the handing over of certificates to students who have completed the Foundation Diploma in 2019 and 2020. We have 8 students in this list, so without further ado, let's get started with K.A. Taraka Chaturanga from Eastern Maritime Colombo Limited. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. K.A. Taraka Chaturanga, congratulations to you. Foundation Diploma. This is for the years 2019 and 2020 together. And as we congratulate Taraka, our next student here is Dinesh P. Fernando from Walker's Subsea Services. Congratulations, Dinesh P. Fernando. Next up, Ashmita Chandrakumar from Dart Global Logistics. I believe she's not here. All right, we will then move on to Randika De Silva from Maersk Lanka. Let's put our hands together for Randika. And as we congratulate Randika, our next recipient of this Foundation Diploma is going to be Ayanta Pereira from Metro Logistics International. Let's put our hands together for Ayanta. Once again, these are Foundation Diplomas in the years of 2019 and 2020. And our next student who will be joining us is going to be Sharon Pereira. Let's put our hands together for him. Congratulations, Sharon Pereira. Joining us up next from Polaris Shipping, we have Roger Senarath Ratnaika. And we have one more recipient in the Foundation Diploma segment for 2019 and 2020. Our next student is from Haley's Energy Services. Let's put our hands together for Aruni Vijaypala. And from the Foundation Diploma, we now move on to the Advanced Diploma. Let's get started. These are students who have completed their Advanced Diploma in 2019 and 2020. We start off with Sachini Madhushani from DHL Global Forwarding. We have 6 students in this category to recognize as we congratulate Sachini. Next up, we'd like to invite Kanchana Bopitia from Hapag Lloyd, Lanka. Congratulations, Kanchana Bopitia. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, K.A. Taraka Chaturanga from Eastern Maritime, Colombo. And as we congratulate Taraka, next up, we would now like to recognize Dinesh P. Fernando from Walker's Subsea Services. We have two more students in this sector for Advanced Diploma in 2019-2020. Next up, MSM Ibrahim from Haley's Advantis. And our final recipient for the Advanced Diploma, ladies and gentlemen, Iranga Tevarapperuma from RSL Container Line. And there we have it. Those were our students for Advanced Diploma in 2019 and 2020. Thank you very much to our guest of honor, Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya. We would now like to invite our keynote speaker, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, to join us as we have our next segment of award recipients to recognize. Thank you very much to Deshabandhu Karu Jayasuriya for gracing our occasion here this evening. As we are now joined by our keynote speaker, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, we are moving into our next segment of certificates and medals for the newly elected members and fellows for the year 2019 and 2020. Newly elected members of ICS UK, or MICS, at the ICS qualifying examination in 2019 and 2020. We have 8 individuals to recognize as our members. We start off with Captain Buddhika Jayavira from the Sri Lanka Navy. Congratulations, Captain Buddhika Jayavira. Our next member joining ICS UK, Rubani Pereira from Hellman Worldwide Logistics. Joining us up next will be Chintaka Prasanna Singha Arachi from Hankyu Maritime. Let's put our hands together. I believe he's not here with us, so we will move on to KPK Gerald Suwendra from Cargill Ceylon PLC. And as we congratulate Mr. Gerald, next up, Uchita J. Vikramarachi from Douglas & Sons Private Limited. Congratulations, Mr. Uchita, for being recognized as a member. Our next member, ladies and gentlemen, is Ms. Malina Aun from Wilhelmsen Meridian Navigation Limited. We have 2 more members to recognize and congratulate. Next up, Mr. Anushka Kumaradasa from Loves Maritime Services. And we have final member here now to recognize Romesh Damian Silva from Hapag Lloyd Lanka. Congratulations to all of our newly elected members of ICS UK. With that, we now move on to recognizing our members who have been promoted to Fellows of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers UK, or FICS, in the years 2019 and 2020. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the highest qualification in shipping accepted worldwide, whereby an individual gains chartered status and qualifies himself or herself to be called a chartered shipbroker. In order to attain a Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers UK, a person will have to pass the qualifying examination, become a member of the ICS UK, and further should have advanced in his or her career in shipping significantly, contributing to the development of shipping and education. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the title of Fellow is a very prestigious title for the world of ICS UK. We have 6 of our members who are now being promoted to fellows. So let's get started with the first. This is Mindaka Dasanaika from Hapag-Lloyd, Lanka. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Newly elected fellow of ICS UK. Congratulations, Mindaka Dasanaika. Joining us up next as our newly elected fellow, Ruwan Jayasinghe from Euros Freight International. Congratulations, newly elected fellow, Ruwan Jayasinghe. Joining us up next will be Anoja Joseph from Alphard Maritime. We have 3 more fellows to recognize. Next up, Shamali Premasiri from Biselco International. Shamali is also our education officer here at ICS Sri Lanka branch. Congratulations, Shamali, on being elected as a fellow. We're joining up next by Anuradha Surya Arachi from CL Synergy. Congratulations, Anuradha Surya Arachi. And our final individual to be recognized as a fellow of ICS UK. Let's put our hands together for Shane D. Alves from Hapag-Lloyd, Lanka. And on that note, we come to the end of this segment of recognizing our members and fellows. Let's put our hands together once again for all our newly elected members and fellows. Thank you very much to Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri for joining us for this segment of awards. Next up, we'd now like to cordially invite our guest of honor, General Dayaratnayaka, to join us here as we will now begin distributing the special awards to students who have scored the highest marks in the individual subjects at the ICS examinations for the years of 2019 as well as the year of 2020. We now have our General Dayaratnayaka joining us. Let's get started by recognizing students who have scored highest marks in individual subjects at the ICS examinations in 2019. We'll start off with the Casper Shipping UK Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Legal Principles of Shipping Business. This award goes to Chintaka Prasanna Singha Arachi from Hankyu Maritime. He's not with us, but we congratulate him all the same. We move on to our next award, which is CL Synergy Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Shipping Business. And this award goes to Sachini Madhushani from DHL Global Forwarding. Congratulations, Sachini Madhushani, Best Sri Lankan Student in Shipping Business. This is the CL Synergy Award. We're moving on to our next award now, which is the CWT GlobeLink Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Liner Trades. The award recipient is from Love's Maritime Services. Let's put our hands together for Anushka Namal Kumardasa. Congratulations, Best Sri Lankan Student in Liner Trades, Anushka Namal. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, McLaren's Logistics Group Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Economics of Sea Transport and International Trades. This award goes to somebody from Wilhelmsen Meridian Navigation. Let's put our hands together for Malina Aun. Congratulations, Melina, for winning the McLaren's Logistics Group Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Economics of Sea Transport and International Trade. Next up, Worldwide Logistics Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Foundation Diploma in Port Agency. This award goes to Dinesh P. Fernando from Walker's Subsea Services. And as we congratulate Dinesh, our next award is the MNR M&R SPEDAG Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Logistics and Multimodal Transport. This award goes to Ruvani Pereira from Hellman Worldwide Logistics. Congratulations to Ruvani Pereira. We're moving on to the final award for 2019 for our students. This is the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, or VISTA, Sri Lanka Award for Best Female Student in the ICS examination for 2019. This award goes to somebody at DHL Global Forwarding. Let's put our hands together for Sachini Madhushani. And those were the awards for the individual subjects in 2019. Now we move on to students who have scored the highest marks in individual subjects at the exams in 2020. Let's get started. Casper Shipping UK Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Legal Principles of Shipping Business. From Hapag Lloyd Lanka Private Limited, the winner is Kanchana Bopitia. Congratulations to Kanchana Bopitia. Next up, CL Synergy Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Shipping Business. The award recipient is Randika De Silva from Maersk Lanka. Congratulations to you, Randika De Silva. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, CWT Global Inc. Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Liner Trades. From Haley's Advantage Private Limited, the winner is MSM Ibrahim. Let's put our hands together for him. And as we congratulate MSM Ibrahim, next up, ladies and gentlemen, the McLaren's Logistics Group Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Economics of Sea Transport and International Trades. From Maersk Lanka Private Limited, it's once again Randika De Silva. Let's put our hands together. Congratulations, Randika De Silva. Our next award, ladies and gentlemen, is the Worldwide Logistics Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in the Foundation Diploma in Port Agency. Now, this is a special award recipient because this student has also received the World Prize for RMAC Award for the student with the highest mark in Foundation Diploma in Port Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, a World Prize winner here from Haley's Energy Services Private Limited. Give a huge round of applause to Aruni Vijaypala. Congratulations, Aruni, World Prize winner of the RMAC Award. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, the M&R SPEDAG Award for Best Sri Lankan Student in Logistics and Multimodal Transport. Now, once again, this student has received the World Prize of Mediterranean Shipping UK for obtaining the highest marks in logistics and multimodal transport. She's from Wilhelmsen Meridian Navigation. Let's put our hands together for Malina Aun, a World Prize winner. We have two World Prize winners that we can proudly call our own here in Sri Lanka. We have yet another award to go, ladies and gentlemen. This one is the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, or VISTA Sri Lanka Award for Best Female Student at the ICS examination in 2020. And the Best Female Student works at Haley's Energy Services. Let's put our hands together for Aruni Vijaypala. There we have it. Congratulations once again to all of our students who've scored the highest marks in their individual subjects. Thank you very much to General Dai Ratnayaka, and thank you to Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the segment for student recognitions. We do have some more exciting awards coming up, but before we move on to our next segment, ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to say a big thank you to our silver sponsors for this event, as we appreciate and acknowledge them for their contribution and support. Our silver sponsors are Lanka IOC, Aitken Spence Maritime, MSC Lanka Private Limited, and Element Alpha. I request you now to turn your attention to the screen as we view a few video clips by our silver sponsors.
Lanka IOC's strong corporate governance and ethics has made it a force functioning with transparency, integrity, and accountability. With Sri Lanka propelling itself on the road to development and prosperity, Lanka IOC has a major role as an integrated energy company playing a national role in oil security. Our resilience and foresight will help improve the Sri Lankan lives and foster change in the transport industry of today and tomorrow. Lanka IOC, bringing energy to life.
If you take a superficial glance at the sea, it all looks the same. On the open sea, you can lose your way. This is why you need to know it well, drop by drop. But when the sea is your genuine passion, you can identify a great route. A route showing you the way. A route taken by our people for years. Every day. A route that spans the oceans, roads, and railways of the world. A route that starts from our offices, goes through your offices, and arrives to the hands of consumers. Connecting people and continents. MSC, moving the world together.
And those were our silver sponsors once again, ladies and gentlemen. Lanka IOC, Aitken Spence Maritime, MSC Lanka Private Limited, and Element Alpha. We say a big thank you to each of them for their contribution and support. With that, we are now moving on to a much-awaited segment of tonight's proceedings, an exciting highlight of our awards ceremony tonight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the ICS Customer Service Awards for 2020. Now, before we dive into revealing the winners, allow me to give you a brief background to this special segment of awards. The ICS Annual Customer Survey for the year 2020 was conducted by the independent survey company, namely eMetsoft Private Limited. It was an online survey conducted using the world's most popular survey platform. The survey targeted 6 trade lanes under liner shipping category and 2 trade lanes each under container depot operators and NVOCC customers. Based on data compiled, importers and exporters were contacted individually via email, and were requested to give their opinions based on the customer service they had received during the year of 2020. The authenticity of this survey was assured by restricting the participation only through dedicated exclusive email links. A few randomly selected customers from each trade lane was contacted over the telephone for verification purposes, and customers were given choices to select their preferred liner shipping agent, container depot operator, and NVOCC agent under 11 different sectors. Now, under various areas of customer service, the total of the preferences were calculated sector-wise for each participant. And the agent who received the highest preference in each sector is picked as the winner. So with that background to how our winners tonight have been chosen, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to get started with the ICS Customer Service Awards for 2020. I'd like to invite back to join us Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri as we now begin the presentation of the Customer Service Awards. We also have Mr. Kingsley Abe Vikrama, Chairman of ICS Sri Lanka, joining us for this segment of presentation. As mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, we are recognizing the best container depot operators, as well as NVOCC customers, NVOCC agents, and the liner shipping category as well. We are starting off with the best container depots in the Customer Service Awards for 2020. I don't have the award winners with me. They are all a suspense, and so I would now request that the winners' names be brought forward as I announce it before you. I'm seeing it for the very first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get started with the ICS ACDO Award 2020 for the most outstanding inland container depot export category. Let's first take a look at the nominees on the screen. There we have it. Those were the nominees, and the winner in this category, ladies and gentlemen, is Spectra Integrated Logistics. Congratulations to Spectra Integrated Logistics for winning the most outstanding inland container depot in the export category. We'd like to invite our winner to please join us back because we would like to invite you to share a few thoughts on this occasion. The mic is all yours.
Thank you very much. I thank ICS for organizing this event, and also all the voters, most of them are here, and your customers as well. Thank you so much for giving us the encouragement to move forward. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Spectra Integrated Logistics Private Limited. Our next award is the ICS ACDO Award 2020 for Outstanding Inland Container Depot in the import category. Let's take a look at the nominees. Nominees are right there on the screen, and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, in this segment is Spectra Integrated Logistics. Well, congratulations on your double win. Do you have any more words to share on how you managed to win both the awards?
Actually, thank you very much. Again, it's the customer's choice. So thank you very much for giving us the encouragement. We will do our utmost to move forward and to help you to ease out your problems as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Congratulations once again, Spectra Integrated Logistics Private Limited, on the double win. We're now moving on to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ICS Customer Service Awards for the best NVOCC agents, introduced this year for the very first time in collaboration with Slana. We are starting off with the ICS Slana Award 2020 for the most outstanding NVOCC agent export category. We have the nominees on the screen right now. There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner in this category is Goodrich Lanka Private Limited. Congratulations, Goodrich Lanka. Would one of you like to say a few words on your victory?
Thank you, Almighty God, for giving this opportunity, and also Harsha De Silva, the chairman of Slana, for proposing an award for the NVOCCs this year. It's a great encouragement for us. Thank you, all the clients who have continuously supported us. Also, the staff of Goodrich, and not only in Sri Lanka, worldwide. Thank you very much. This means a lot. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations once again, Goodrich Lanka Private Limited. Our next award category, ladies and gentlemen, this is the ICS Slana Award 2020 for the most outstanding NVOCC agent import category. Let's take a look at the nominees on screen. And the winner is right here with me. The winner in this category is McLaren's Logistics Limited. Congratulations, McLaren's Logistics. Would you like to share a few thoughts on this occasion, on your win?
Thank you very much. We are very much pleased to receive this award. And this is the first time that ICS, in collaboration with Slana, organized such a wonderful award for NVOCC agents, those who are with customers. And this shows the NVOCC customers' preference and our commitment towards our customers. So thank you very much. And we are 24/7 to serve our customers and our feeders and mail lines. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again, McLaren's Logistics Limited. We're now moving on to the next segment of awards, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ICS Customer Service Awards for Best Liner Shipping Agents in 2020. We start off with the ICS Award, Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for Colombo Europe Trade Sector. Let's take a look at the nominees on screen. There they are. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner in this sector is Hapag-Lloyd Lanka Private Limited. Congratulations, Hapag-Lloyd. Would you like to share your thoughts with us tonight?
Yes, on behalf of the Hapag-Lloyd Lanka management, I would like to thank all the customers who supported us to get this beautiful award. And also, I would like to thank Kingsley and the ICS Sri Lanka team for putting a wonderful event, which is the benchmark of the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations, Hapag-Lloyd Lanka Private Limited. We're moving on now to our next sector, which is the ICS Award Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for Colombo, USA Trade Sector. Let's take a look at the nominees on the screen. There they are. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in this sector is Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. Congratulations. Would you like to share a few words tonight?
Big thank you to our customers who voted us to get this award. And this will be an encouragement for us to do much more better in the future with focus and conscious efforts. And thank you very much for organizing this kind of wonderful event. Thanks.
Thank you very much and congratulations, Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. We're moving on now, ladies and gentlemen, to the ICS Award Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for Colombo, Gulf and Red Sea Trade Sector. The nominees are on the screen. Let's take a look at the winner. The winner is CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited. share your thoughts with us.
Firstly, I would like to thank ICS for organizing such a wonderful event. And I would like to dedicate this award to my wonderful team, my colleagues at CMA. Guys, this one is for you. And finally, I would like to thank all our customers and stakeholders who kept their trust in us and made this award a possible one for us. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited. We're moving on now to the next sector, ICS Award, Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service for Colombo Mediterranean Trade Sector. The nominees are on the screen, and the winner is MSC Lanka Private Limited. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank all our customers. I think without them, we wouldn't get this award. Thanks everybody for the staff also. I think the staff worked hard to get this award, and the management also. And finally, I'd like to thank ICS for organizing this event to facilitate all the shipping lines. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you, MSC Lanka Private Limited. We are moving on now to the next sector, which is the ICS Award, Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for Colombo Indian Subcontinent Trade Sector. The nominees are right there on the screen. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited. We'd like to invite you to share your thoughts with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely honored and humbled to be accepting this award, and I would like to dedicate this to all of our customers of CMA CGM Lanka for standing strong with CMA CGM during tough times, for entrusting us during tough times, and I would like to give that assurance that we will always cater to you for your needs during tough times, just the way that you have been supporting us. And last but not least, I would like to dedicate my heartiest gratitude to the entire CCL team for putting a lot of hard work, some tiresome work, especially during the COVID period. And I'm sure the entire team is logging online and watching us. So here we go. Thank you.
Congratulations to you, CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited. Well, we have two more award sectors to recognize, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, ICS Award Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for Colombo Intra-Asia Trade Sector. The nominees are on the screen, and the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. Once again, we'd like to invite you to share your thoughts.
Once again, I want to thank our customers, and this is a big motivation for us to do better. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again, Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the final award of the night. This is the South Asia Gateway Terminal Award, Best Shipping Agent Customer Service for overall inbound trade. Let's take a look at the nominees on screen. They are right there. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, for this final award, CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited.
Again, it's 3 awards. So, yeah, very much humbled and honored to receive these awards today. So we are grateful to our customers. Thank you, my wonderful team, dear CMA. This one is for you. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, CMA CGM Lanka Private Limited. Thank you very much to Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri and to Mr. Kingsley as well. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are coming to the end of the awards segment of our proceedings here this evening. Congratulations once again to all of the winners and achievers, both students as well as corporates who have been felicitated tonight for your wonderful and worthy accolades. Now, before we wrap up formally the event, ladies and gentlemen, we have to remember that the success of all of this celebration would not be possible without many people helping us behind the scenes. We'd now like to take the opportunity to thank each of our contributors. And to sum up now all of our appreciation in a vote of thanks, please join me in welcoming to the lectern the Secretary of ICS Sri Lanka branch. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Shimron Samson.
Our chief guest for today's event, Honorable Rohit Abegunawardena, Minister of Posts and Shipping. Guest of honor, Chairman Sri Lanka Ports Authority, General Ratnaka. Senior member of ICS Sri Lanka and the former Speaker of Parliament of Sri Lanka, Deshabandhu Karajasuriya. Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, Director Postgraduate Institute of Management. Chairman ICS Sri Lanka, Kingsley Abevikrama. ICS graduates, fellows, and members of ICS, Customer Service Award winners, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of ICS Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers Sri Lanka branch, I take this opportunity to thank Honorable Rohit Abegunawardena for accepting our invitation and for gracing the 27th annual award ceremony of ICS Sri Lanka branch as the chief guest. We were indeed honored to have the minister at this event today. We were also like to take the opportunity to thank Dr. Prashanta Jayamana, advisor to the minister, and the vice chairman of Sri Lanka Ports Authority for the gratitude and for the kind courtesies extended to us. General Ratnaka, Chairman Sri Lanka Ports Authority, and Deshabandhu Karajasuriya for accepting our invitation to be the guest of honor. We truly appreciate your presence this evening. Thank you, sir. The keynote speaker, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, we thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and for being with us today evening. Your message this evening was thought-provoking. Today we have with us many virtual participants who could not make it to the event physically due to the health protocols imposed by the Minister of Health due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic in the country. We take this opportunity to thank each and every online participant for their valuable time to join us virtually. Slana Chairman, Mr. Harsha De Silva, for spearheading the way for the inaugural Slana ICS Award for the NUCC operators. We look forward to your continued partnership with ICS in the coming years as well. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our long-standing corporate partner, South Asia Gateway Terminals Private Limited, for continuing with their magnanimous sponsorship towards ICS Sri Lanka branch. Thank you, sir. We also would like to extend our sincere gratitude to our silver and bronze sponsors for the generous sponsorship. Also to the many co-sponsors who had contributed to make this event a success. Without the generous sponsorship and contributions from all our sponsors, we would not have been able to make this event a success. Thank you so much. We value your kind support. All at Immensoft for the valuable and the professional approach in handling the customer service survey. We at ICS are very fortunate to have associated with your professional organization. We look forward to working with you closely in future as well. We would like to thank our trustworthy AV partner, Kapila, and his team, Live Productions, for the wonderful job done today by catering to the requirement of new normal. Thank you, Kapila. We also would like to thank Gihan Nadir of Evoke Tech for his valuable support in boosting our social media channel. Michael for the coordination towards the print media and the printing. The General Manager, Banquet Manager Priyanta, and his team at Seaman Lakeside for the excellent arrangement for this event. Our ICS committee members, our ICS members at the registration desk, Sajani, Utpala, and Harshi for the excellent job. Our compeer, Trishma Pinto, for keeping the program alive. All the print and electronic media personnel for the coverage of the event. We trust you would give us the due publicity of the event. Cosmic Rays, the band that will be performing later in the evening. Thank you for being with us and for partnering for the second consecutive year. Last but not the least, our executive committee. Thank you, Kingsley, Manjula, Kalinga, Shamali, Charinda, Anuradha, Premal, as well as our administrator, Sudat, for successfully organizing this event, despite the many challenges faced by them. On behalf of ICS, let me once again extend my sincere appreciation to everybody for gracing the 27th annual award ceremony today evening. The Executive Committee cordially invites all of you all for fellowship and cocktails. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shimron Samson, for the warm words of gratitude expressed to everybody who is involved in making tonight a memorable event. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we now draw the curtains on our 27th annual award ceremony of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers UK Sri Lanka branch. We trust that it's been a vibrant and meaningful evening as we celebrated your accolades in style. It's our pleasure, of course, to invite you to join us for cocktails and fellowship, of course, keeping in mind the prevailing health and safety guidelines. We also have a band Cosmic Rays tonight to ensure that all of you have a delightful evening. Meanwhile, before cocktails and music, an important announcement. We would like to request all of our student and corporate winners who have been awarded tonight to please join us near the stage immediately for the group photo with our dignitaries. So, student and corporate winners, you may make your way to the stage immediately after the formal proceedings are done. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we wish all of you in the audience the very best as you raise the bar for the local shipping industry, truly making Sri Lanka the maritime hub of the South Asian region and stand out truly as the pearl of the Indian Ocean. On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here this evening, and I wish you a wonderful time ahead. Good night and God bless.
I'm a member of the ICS. I'm a member of the ICS.
I am a member of ICS. I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers.
Hello, my name is Angelika and I work at GAC. I started doing ICS a couple of years back. The knowledge that I've gained from ICS and has helped my career grow so far. And I also had the privilege of winning the World Prize for Line of Trade subject. So I also urge you to do ICS. It is the qualification that you need to have.
Hi, I'm Aruni from Helis Energy Services. I'm a student of ICS Sri Lanka branch. Anyone who is willing to step into this industry or anyone who is already in the shipping and logistics industry, I strongly recommend to study with ICS Sri Lanka branch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an announcement for our corporate winners. Corporate winners for the group photograph. We'll have the corporate winners for the group photograph first with your awards. And right after that, we will have the student achievers for the group photograph. So can we please invite all of our corporate winners joining us immediately as our student achievers stand by near the stage for the next group photo. Thank you.
With Sri Lanka propelling itself on the road to development and prosperity, Lanka IOC has a major role as an integrated energy company, playing a national role in oil security.
It's good to be a part of